That won't really move the needle, and we're still at a relatively low pace of mass layoff announcements. But this one is big, and in particular for the regional economy around Salem and the surrounding communities. One issue that people are asking about is whether or not this will create problems for farmers or the broader sector in terms of finding places to sell their goods. And we don't believe that that's likely the case. It might, of course, take some time to change your distribution channels, but nevertheless, they probably would. Farms are not really as tied to the region for packaging or sales as they once were. In fact, that's been a good story for Oregon's industry cluster in the Mid-Valley in the past. Around 2000 or so, when a lot of the farms around this region changed what they were growing and went away from the traditional beans and strawberries and the like, and went and changed to grass seed and nurseries and whatnot, we saw a real wave of closures with the predecessor to NORPAC, Flavor Pack, shut down, as did Chiquita and some of the big packaging plants that we had here in the region. And at the time, economists really thought it was going to be the end of in the industry, but across the board, we've seen growth since. And it's come from some unusual sources. In particular, the firms have cut down on their seasonal dependence and their dependence on local farms, where the seasonal factors we look at in terms of how different is hiring in the summer versus the winter, that's been cut in about half since the early 2000s, and largely because now a lot of the food packaging plants import food from other parts of the world during their off times and the like. And so it's in terms of the farmers, that's probably not an issue, but the fact that we do have probably over 1,000 workers losing their jobs around the holidays is not a good thing for Salem. And some of the workforce in the packaging plants are low skilled and potentially have criminal records and the like, and may have a harder time to be placed going forward. But that said, if there's any time that it would be good for this, it would be in this kind of economy we have right now, with very tight labor markets and workers are very scarce. And so with any luck, the region will be able to absorb most of them. But for now, that's what's most encouraging is just how scarce workers are, and that's still showing up in some of the other measures of labor force tightness, like the unemployment rate.